Welcome to the Lifestyle Medicine Update. I'm Dr. James Meschino. In 1923, lead was first added to gasoline to reduce engine knock. As the years went by, researchers realized that lead entering the environment through the car exhaust pipes was being inhaled and accumulating in the human body, resulting in very adverse health effects. Leaded gasoline was eventually banned in 1996, but researchers of the 2022 paper in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences have shown that anyone born before the end of that era, and especially those at the peak of its use in the 1960s and 1970s, had concerningly high lead exposure when they were children. Lead is a neurotoxin that can literally erode brain cells after it enters the body, and young children are especially vulnerable to lead's ability to impair brain development and lower cognitive ability. Unfortunately, in the case of leaded gasoline, lead can be absorbed into the bloodstream once it's inhaled as dust or ingested or consumed in water. And from the bloodstream, it's able to pass into the brain through the blood-brain barrier. The 2022 study indicated that exposure to car exhaust from leaded gasoline during childhood stole a collective 824 million IQ points from the more than 170 million Americans alive today, which is about half the population of the United States. That's nearly 3 IQ points per person on average. Now, as of 2015, more than 170 million Americans had clinically concerning levels of lead in their blood when they were children, likely resulting in lower IQs and putting them at higher risk for other long-term health impairments such as reduced brain size, greater likelihood of mental illnesses, and increased cardiovascular disease in adulthood. As they said, unfortunately, no matter what age, our brains are ill-equipped to defend against the damaging effects of lead. The researchers calculated that at its worst, people born in the mid to late 1960s may have lost up to 6 IQ points, and children registering the highest levels of lead in their blood, 8 times the current minimum level to initiate clinical concern, fared even worse, potentially losing more than 7 IQ points on average. Now, dropping a few IQ points may seem negligible, but the authors note that these changes are dramatic enough to potentially shift people with low to average cognitive ability, these would be IQ scores less than 85, to being classified as having an intellectual disability, an IQ score below 70. Studies also show that adults with high childhood lead exposure may experience accelerated brain aging. So how might you remove some lead from your body? Well, a 2013 review paper published in the World Scientific Journal entitled Chelation, Harnessing and Enhancing Heavy Metal Detoxification, a review, explains some helpful strategies to accomplish this goal. In short, if you want to remove lead from your body, eating foods with a high sulfur content is what you do first, as heavy metals bind to sulfur, and then the sulfur can drag these heavy metals out of the body, including lead, when it gets excreted through the urine or the fecal route. This means eating more garlic and onions, as well as cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, bok choy, turnips, and kale. Cruciferous vegetables contain sulforaphane, a very important sulfur-containing compound. Also, having 2 teaspoons a day of psyllium husk fiber has been shown to reduce the reabsorption of heavy metals back into the bloodstream from the gut. Now, glutathione is also proven to leach heavy metals from the body, including lead. Now, glutathione supplements are not well absorbed from the gut, but you can increase your glutathione levels in your body by taking a supplement that has this combination of nutrients: N-acetylcysteine, alpha-lipoic acid, milk thistle, and L-glutamine. Now, some companies make supplements that contain all 4 of these ingredients into one glutathione-raising formulation, but even N-acetylcysteine on its own or alpha-lipoic acid on its own can remove heavy metals. They're both sulfur-containing compounds. So one last point is that when you're sweating during aerobic exercise, that also helps to eliminate some toxins through your skin. And the same thing if you're using saunas, it helps to eliminate some toxins as you sweat profusely from using saunas or doing aerobic exercise. So we would all probably benefit from removing some lead from our bodies, which can be accomplished by eating more garlic, onions, cruciferous vegetables, and taking a supplement each day that contains N-acetylcysteine, alpha-lipoic acid, milk thistle, and L-glutamine. So I've included the references for this information in the text below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.